Today, everything you wanted to know about record sleeves with my very special guest, Mike.
It's Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, the only guy I know who holds a patent on record sleeves. Good?
Yeah.
You want me to do it again?
No, it's perfect.
Okay.
My wife's gonna laugh her ass off.
33 RPM, yeah, 33 RPM, channel 33 RPM, yeah, final ever.
All right, Mike, welcome to Channel 33 RPM World Headquarters.
Thanks, Frank. Nice to see you again. It's only been 5 minutes.
Mike was on the last episode of Friday Night Vinyl I did in case you missed it, but you do have to check that episode out because you launched a new product on the last episode you did here.
That's why it's Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, yeah. So Mike, what I did is, well, first of all, Mike is the founder of Vinyl Storage Solutions. You are now retired, but you invented all that stuff. You're the guru. You're the guru of modern record sleeves.
From a one-man show to a multi-faceted business.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Thanks.
So what I did is I asked Channel 33 RPM viewers, said, what do you want to know about record sleeves? Anything you want to know, don't be afraid to ask, leave comments. And I picked like 10 questions or so from viewers that they wanted to ask you.
Let's try some.
All right, Mike, this first question comes from me, not from a viewer, but from me. What should people look for in inner sleeves and outer sleeves?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I can always go back to it's about preference. And if you don't want to use outer sleeves, that's fine. But you really should look at inner sleeves as an investment in protecting your record, obviously. Depending on the paper used, it can shed, obviously, also scuff the record from movement, so on. But some of them have acid in it, and I'm going to try to pronounce it correctly, lignin. And what that is it's an acid from wood cellulose. So over time, as it ages, it'll release that acid. And if you ever seen a yellowed,
Yeah, especially the older paper inner sleeves.
right, that's that acid. Personally, I've never seen one ruin a record, but I'm sure some people have seen examples of that. But to me, I want something with an anti-static additive in it.
Yeah.
And that's inner sleeves have generally, except paper, an anti-static additive added to the material.
Really?
Yeah.
So aside from Vinyl Storage Solutions inner sleeves, pretty much any inner sleeve you buy from any company you're saying has anti-static additives?
Definitely all the rice paper type inner sleeves. By the way, rice paper is a misnomer. There isn't any Japanese rice paper inside that sleeve. It's actually just a regular sheet of paper.
Really?
Yeah.
Next question. This comes from Dan. Dan writes, regarding the master inner sleeves and the quality, what is the biggest difference between 1 mil and 3 mil? And would you personally always recommend thicker ones to make sure the records are stored safely?
It's a good question. So, in the film industry, a mil...
Not the movie film industry.
No. Packaging film.
Yeah.
A mil is 1/1000 of an inch. So, when you look at the basic rice paper sleeve, on the layer outside protecting the record, it's 1 mil. Behind it, because it's folded over, there's a sheet of paper. It's 2 sides of 1 mil together plus the thickness of the paper. So, and 1 mil is 1/1000 of an inch. I find that a little light to protect a record.
1/1000th of an inch.
1/1000th of an inch.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, I generally dislike the way they crumple. Ever fought with one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So to me, my minimum is a 2 mil, but 1 mil works great if that's what you want. But I do prefer the 3 mil because it's a total of 9 mil thickness that you can insert back into the jacket or behind it in a dual pocket.
It's sturdier.
Much sturdier.
Next question. Okay, this comes from me. This is a Frank question. Can record sleeve...
You know, Frank, you could just call me anytime and ask.
I know, but I want to do it on the show. And you kind of talked about this, but my question for you is, can record sleeves actually control static electricity on vinyl records?
Yeah, absolutely. It helps minimize it. So when you look at an inner sleeve, generally what's added is an anti-static additive, generally 3 to 5% of the makeup of the sleeve, the polyethylene.
Oh, it's that high.
Yeah. And that does help reduce the amount of static that's held, not generated, but held. That being said, there's some that try it much higher, and what you'll see is over time, a white film may come off. If you rub your hand inside of it or on the record, you'll see it. It's harmless. It doesn't hurt a record. It's easy to clean off. It's just a pain. But generally 3 to 5%.
Next question comes from Terry. Terry writes, what are the best options for box sets? Since they can vary so much in size, I've had a hard time finding good options. I have something that works for standard box sets, similar in size to All Things Must Pass, and Springsteen's Live 75-85 box set, but the bigger boxes are such a pain. Good question, Terry.
Yeah, so box sets is really interesting. So prior to selling the company, I did come out with a box set outer sleeve. So for example, this outer sleeve, it's a UHQR, and it has a flap to go around and then a removable sticker, if you could see that. This box sleeve, also the same one, also fits the MoFi Original Master records, and it's quite nice. It's form fitted. Then you run into all the different sizes. So if we look at the Van Halen box set, it's shorter. See that?
Significantly.
Yeah. So Vinyl Storage Solution has 9 different sizes, and they show the sizes in metric and in imperial. So what you need to do is measure your box set, find the closest fitting one. So in this case, I'd use a piece of green tape because I just wanted to show you. This sleeve is longer, obviously, much longer.
Yeah, a little bigger.
You can see that. So I either have to trim it, or I simply fold it in and seal it. And then my box set is secure. Now I still have the records in this box set, and the reason being is these open-ended box sets, what I like to do is put a piece of black cardboard, take the records out, and then I just have it on the shelf for viewing. I haven't done that yet.
So you generally don't put the records in the box set. You keep them separate.
I do.
And then you bag
I do.
the box to preserve it.
Yeah. Remember this one?
Yes.
You guys familiar with this one probably? It's a nice square box set outer sleeve, but I keep the records in a dual pocket in my storage
because they come with their own
jacket.
Yeah.
And a lot of box sets do come with their own jackets.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So back to the question, just a matter of measuring.
Measure.
Because they vary so dramatically from box to box. There is no standard. And there can't be, because some box sets have 3 records, some have 5, some have booklets, some don't. So they're all probably custom made maybe to the release. I don't know, but they're all so variable.
When I was designing the box set outer sleeve, I did a little research. I went to so many stores and measured so many modern box sets. I stopped at 35 different sizes.
Really?
There's just no way you're ever going to get that into one package or a couple packages that work. So Vinyl Storage Solution has 9. Send them an email. Tell them what you're looking for. I'm sure they'll happily help you out.
Yeah. Don't send to Mike. He's retired.
Yeah.
This is a question from Frank again. This is a question for me. There is no standard size for record jackets, right? We talked about the box sets, but there's no standard size for record jackets, single LP or gatefold, whatever. How do you figure out what size outer sleeves to buy for a record if there's no standard size?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Take all your records, stand them together, sort out the thicker spine ones and the taller ones. And then order some of both sizes.
That's what I had to do because I ordered the 12-inch ones.
Yeah.
And I got frustrated because they didn't fit a lot of modern records. But
That's
the
right.
12-inch ones, pretty much anything before 1985, it fits just fine.
Yeah.
And then I bought the 12.75 for modern records and gatefold. So I have to have the 2.
Yeah, and there's even a 13.
Yeah, I've never had to use that one, I don't think.
I have on... what the heck? Metallica Concert Series 1.
Symphony one?
Yeah, and a small very small box sets, like 3 records. May actually fit in the 13
cool.
too. My Stevie Nicks small box set fits in there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so just...
There's a use, and the nice thing, Vinyl Storage Solutions, you can order individual singles.
Oh, yeah. You can also sample them, I guess.
You can buy a
right?
sample pack.
Channel 33 RPM.
This question comes from Paul. Paul writes, I live in a dry and dusty desert environment. Does this play into the type of sleeve I should use for my records?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I spent last Christmas 3 weeks in Tucson,
Yep.
and well, the weather was generally nice. Driving through a dust storm is mind-boggling compared to driving through a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul, move. No, I'm kidding. Really, at the end of the day, it's your environment, right? Like what kind of HVAC system you have.
Yeah.
So as long as you probably have a heat recovery system. Most modern houses have it. That's that large filter before the furnace. Not the furnace filter, but a large one. And that helps separate a lot of those pollutants. Other than that, I mean, I would use the sealed sleeve to keep out anything. So the dual pocket, dual flap would be perfect for him.
Seal it up.
Yeah. Keep the record sealed and keep the jacket sealed.
I guess it's the same thing with super humid environments. I remember being in Mexico and reading a magazine, and I put the magazine down, and I came back, it was so humid, the magazine was wet.
Right.
So I guess same thing with records if you live in a really...
Florida
too? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the desiccant stripes I came out with?
Yeah.
I would put those in.
To measure the humidity level.
Well, just to absorb the humidity.
Well, that absorbs the humidity, not measures it, right.
But I'd also make it a practice to probably change my inner sleeves, at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
You'd have to determine what that is. Even my house, I have a dehumidifier going all summer long.
Yeah, here too.
Because I want to keep it about 40-45%. And generally, I have no issues.
Yeah.
So I would think most people have a dehumidifier in those kinds of environments.
Yeah. Okay, the question comes from Mark. Hey, my buddy Mark. I used to work with him. Paper or plastic? He's talking about inner sleeves.
Your choice. Paper obviously can leave shreds behind from the grooves wearing against the record. Can also scuff the record for movement. And you'll see that sometimes. New records, you take it out and there's some scuffs on it from paper sleeve.
Yeah.
I call it road rash.
Yeah,
from
record
movement.
rash.
Whatever, right? And so obviously to me, papers, no. And now if it's printed liner notes, that's an inner sleeve, I keep it separate. I won't use it.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah, I don't want to damage that. So I would use definitely a rice paper inner sleeve.
Hey, this question comes from Rob Small. He writes, dual pocket gatefolds should be a thing.
Just a second, Paul.
Rob,
sorry. Just a second, Rob. Your wish is my command. Here's your dual pocket gatefold prototype. So watch Vinyl Storage Solutions website, and one size fits all. It fits blue notes and down, no problem at all.
So this is a brand new product.
Brand new product.
It
It was on the drawing board or design board, if you want, when I sold, and I just really had time now to get back to it. And there may be some other stuff in development too.
Ooh, cool.
Maybe.
Stay tuned. Okay, Toastback Whale. That's the name. Toastback Whale writes.
I think I dated her.
Toastback Whale writes, should I be replacing all of the sleeves that come with my records? Which ones are good and which are bad, and how can I tell? Good question from Toastback Whale.
You know the paper poly inner sleeves?
Paper?
Yeah, so it's paper on the outside and has a poly liner inside of it. I would get rid of those. I'd use those.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with those.
Yeah. Like the polyline sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, brain block. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are using those now.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw those away. Nothing wrong with those.
Yeah. Okay.
Just know that you're eventually going to generate some paper dust. When you look at these different items, there is something called the C of F, coefficient of friction. So certain things have very low friction. So you notice the outer sleeves, they slide relatively easy. They have a very low co-friction, and that's what you want. Some people say they're very slippery. Trust me, you'd rather that than the opposite, because if it's aggressive, it's going to wear down the jacket. on the inside.
Good point, because I've had a couple of comments saying, why are these record sleeves so slippery?
Right.
You need it to be slippery.
That's right. In addition to that, when you're pulling it in and out of the shelf, you want it to slip.
Yeah.
You don't want that aggressive coefficients going against it. So, poly, very low coefficient. Paper, medium coefficient, meaning it's getting worse. Cardboard, the inside of the jacket, the worst case. So anybody sliding records in and out of the jacket, that's their choice.
Yeah.
Right. But eventually over time you'll get a lot of surface noise and scratches from that.
Yeah. I remember being a kid, I'd just throw the record in the sleeve of the
Yeah, it was probably the one I lent you.
Yeah, probably. So if it's the polyline inner, you're saying that's all good?
I'd keep it.
Yeah, but the paper, poof, out of there.
Yeah.
And
Recycle
it.
Yeah.
The custom printed inners, I keep those. I put it in the
Take it out,
jacket,
yeah.
and then I put the record myself in like a
Fuel pocket. Or an inner sleeve.
inner sleeve. Yeah. From Chris, are there any recommendations for sleeves? Oh, interesting. For sleeves that block or reflect light to help prevent fading.
UV light. No. And the reason being is, remember I mentioned the anti-static additive?
Yeah.
There is a UV additive that can be put in. The problem with it is it's a very greasy additive.
Oh.
So could you imagine what that would do to your jackets?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very nice. And in addition to that, most people store their records spine out or face forward in some sort of filing system.
Yeah.
And generally, you're not really in the light that often, unless you're taking it out to use it, right?
Yeah. Only thing I can think of is someone wants to display it on their wall or something like that. Yeah, not many options or any options.
Try to avoid direct sunlight.
Next question comes from Thirsty Pilgrim. I use 2mm sleeves and have noticed they get cloudy over time. Is there any way to avoid this? I have not seen that, Mike. How about you?
I think he's probably talking about a polyethylene sleeve.
Okay.
So polyethylene is the material that you can buy hundreds for a few dollars. When you lift it up, there's no clarity to it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks kind of like you're looking through a foggy mirror sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they can yellow and get more foggier as time goes on. The reason being, that material is a blown material, whereas cast polypropylene is a molded material that's gone through a dye to get its form. Okay. Blown material is heated and melted. In that material, typically, manufacturers are using a recycled content of some percentage.
Yeah.
Whereas with cast polypropylene, there's no recycled content. It's a food grade material. So when you buy bacon, that clear plastic, cast polypropylene. Right? So the other one, the polyethylene that he's talking about, with that recycled content, could be anywhere from 15 to 30% recycled material.
Okay.
You're never quite sure what you're getting in that.
Yeah.
Even though, recycling tends to try to separate well, there's a lot of stuff that isn't marked for recycling to be easily identified. So they default to polyethylene.
It's probably best just to avoid those non-clear, the cloudy kind of sleeves.
Leave that for garbage bags.
Yeah, leave for garbage bags.
That's how they make garbage bags, same way.
You don't want to put your records in garbage bags. All right, and this question comes from Brian. This is interesting. What is the biggest myth or misinformation about inner or outer sleeves?
Well, for inner sleeves, it's the rice paper.
That rice paper is not actually rice paper.
Not actually rice paper.
I just learned that today.
And all rice paper inner sleeves are all made offshore. Doesn't matter who it is. So I've seen a few listings here and there saying made in USA. I can guarantee you it's not. Maybe the packaging that's holding it is made in the USA.
Yeah.
The reason being, rice paper inner sleeves are 3 pieces of plastic that are put together and a piece of paper manually inserted, and then the bottom sealed to hold the paper in.
Okay.
It's all manual labor. And that's why it's an offshore product.
Okay, Mike, one more question from me. Why bother having an outer sleeve?
Okay, so that's a very good question, and I've seen a couple of people ask that sometimes. If you're a collector and you want to maintain the quality of the jacket, it's important. And the reason being is ring wear that you typically see around a jacket is caused either by movement or pressure of other records. And that's because the record itself leaves an imprint. And as you slide the jacket in and out of the shelf, that imprint is raised. And that's what's getting the ring wear. So if you looked at, and I don't know if we can show it here, this outer sleeve, you can see it. There's the ring from the record, and there's the ring from the label. However, and this has been in this sleeve for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. And if I take the jacket out,
there's no ring wear there.
There's no ring wear.
So the ring wear is all on the sleeve.
On the sleeve.
So you're saying by using a sleeve, you're preventing ring wear from
That's right.
going on your jacket, and rather the sleeve is showing the wear.
The sleeve will take the wear.
So actually, there is an argument for using sleeves not just to make it look pretty or whatever, but actually prevents ring wear.
That's right.
And Mike, one final question for you. What's the weirdest comment you've gotten from a customer?
Am I single?
Mike, thank you for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. You educated me and the viewers as well. So cheers, my friend.
Thank you.